Once I tweeted that I would accept questions about Japan and Japanese culture, and among many questions I received on my Twitter account, there was one asking why there are so many atheists in Japan. It was difficult to answer this question briefly, so I said I'd like to make a YouTube video on this issue. Now, I'd like to answer this question here, and what's more, talk about religions as a whole in Japan. First of all, is it true that the proportion of atheists is large in Japan? I'd like to display statistics and answer this question. According to a 2018 NHK survey, when asked, "Are there any religion you usually believe in?" 31% said Buddhism, 3% said Shinto, and 1% said Christianity. A total of 36% of respondents said they believed in some religion. On the other hand, 60% of respondents said they had no religion to believe in. It is true that the percentage of people who have no religion is considerably higher than that of Western countries in the Christian culture, and in that sense it can be said that there are probably many atheists. However, there are many countries other than Japan where the percentage of non-religious people exceeds 60%. Even in the United Kingdom and the Netherlands, more than 60% are non-religious. A characteristic of Japan that other countries do not have is that there are extremely few Christians. For example, in South Korea, a neighboring country of Japan, 64% of people are non-religious, which is almost the same as Japan. However, in South Korea, Christians account for nearly 22%, which is very different from 1% in Japan. Buddhism, which 30% of Japanese believe, is a religion that originally believes in the teaching of the awakened Buddha, who is not a god. Many of gods that Buddhists later came to believe in are incidental to Buddhist teachings, and there are not so many modern Japanese who believe in such gods. In that sense, it can be said that many Japanese do not believe in a particular god. In other words, it is a fact that there are more atheists in Japan than in any other countries. From another point of view, there are extremely few people in Japan who believe in monotheism. Christians in Japan account for about 1%, and Muslims at best account for only 0.08% of Japan's total population. In other words, the fact that few Japanese believe in a particular god overlaps with the fact that there are extremely few people who believe in monotheism. So why are there so few people in Japan who believe in monotheism? Japan had few opportunities to come into contact with Islam historically. However, there were relatively many opportunities to interact with Christians, and in the 16th century, Catholic missionaries actively worked to spread Christianity in Japan, but the result was unsuccessful. Therefore, the question of why there are few people who believe in monotheism in Japan can be replaced with the question why Christianity did not spread in Japan. So why did Christian monotheism not spread to Japan? Some people cite the Edo period Christianity ban policy as an answer. The rulers at that time had a sense of crisis that the spread of Christianity in Japan would destroy Japanese society. As a result, the Edo shogunate strictly banned Christianity and closed the country. However, that alone cannot explain why the number of Christians does not increase even in the present age, when religious freedom is guaranteed. After all, what's the answer? I think the answer lies in the cultural traditions that the Japanese have nurtured in the Japanese archipelago since the Jomon period, which began more than 16,000 years ago. In my opinion, Japanese culture itself does not seem to be in line with monotheism, and I think that one of the uniqueness of Japanese culture is hidden in the reason why Japan rejected monotheism, especially Christianity. We will discuss this issue in the several series in the future.